Well, if we've learned anything from history, it's that people adapt to almost any kind of hardship, but when it comes to record gas prices, those adaptations have to be a little severe. Several states now, like West Virginia, Nevada, Arizona, and California, already experimenting with a 4-day work week for government employees. That's fantastic. They say don't get excited, you still have to work 40 hours, but I got to tell you, I'll work 20-hour days if I can work in 2. So if $3.60 gas can cause this kind of disruption and people starting to look at the way they live and work, what'll happen if gas were twice as much? Sean Broderick is a natural resource analyst for moneyandmarkets.com. Sean, well, first of all, people are saying now that oil is going to start going down now. You say not so much. Why do you say that?
Actually, what I've been saying is that we should see incredibly volatile swings in oil. I mean, I would expect to see higher prices later in the year, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a big pullback now. It's just that pullback probably isn't going to last for long.
Okay. At what point do people actually change? I mean, I was surprised to hear that cities are already starting to look and states are already starting to look at doing, 4-day work weeks. I mean, I know a lot of people are upset about it, but I hadn't heard that we were really crossing that threshold yet where people change their driving habits.
Well, I think that many consumers have hit a certain threshold of pain, but I don't think they'll be changing their driving habits anytime soon. If you look at the numbers that came in last week, while the price at the pump was up quite a lot year over year, actually we saw demand increase at the same time. So the high prices we've seen already haven't decreased demand. I think we'll see a lot more resiliency in demand, much more than people actually think there will be.
What is that number? Because I remember when we were $2 a gallon, people were like, oh, $2 a gallon, I'll stop driving, I'm going to ride a unicycle. And then it was $3, and now we're approaching $4. And you just said that demand is still up here in the United States. So what is that number?
Well, if you look at our friends to the north up in Canada, they're paying the equivalent of like $4.92 per gallon, and they aren't changing their driving habits. I think we could easily support that. I think we could support $5 a gallon, $6 a gallon. We don't have alternatives to like public transportation, stuff like that. The train doesn't run by my house. So I think people will keep driving, and they'll cut back on other things, a lot of other things, before they change their driving habits.
Do you think that the economy was never built? I mean, it's one thing to say, oh, okay, well, I have to pay $5. What am I going to do? I can't catch a bus. But the truckers, I mean, the truckers today in Washington are, having a big rally to help them out and to get people to pay attention that, hello, the trucking industry is in trouble. Everything is affected by the price of oil.
Absolutely. That's why we're seeing a lot more things shipped on the railroads now. Have you seen what's happening with the railroad stocks? They are reporting great earnings, and they're going to the roof. More and more stuff is shifting over to them, and that's a trend that I think is really going to continue.
Okay. Sean, thank you very much. Remember, America, drill Alaska. I'm just saying.